So I just finished up with the 2018 movie, Wait for the Instructions. This was another random pick for today, and it was pretty decent. It was enjoyable. I didn't expect it to be good as well because it was a random pick. And for some weird reason today, I picked two alien movies that actually were decent and had pretty good concepts that were enjoyable, and I didn't have any issues. So for this movie, it's a little bit of a slow burn, but overall, it ends up being extremely decent because the actors play off of each other pretty well. The story's pretty decent. The scenario and everything, the sequence that plays out, all the transitions are pretty reasonable and decent. It was enjoyable. Or furthermore, like I'm surprised how they went about this movie because usually interactions such as this movie, usually there's like hope or something of the sort, but this movie doesn't give you any hope in the end, and it's actually pretty decent, and it actually is enjoyable because most likely, if ever such a scenario were to play out in, let's say, on the in reality, it's most likely we're gonna encounter something of this type, and it's going to be very difficult for us to fight against it. I personally could not come up with a sequence to survive, and that's telling you how much the person probably put a little bit of thought into it, because all this potential possibilities of survival, I it was very difficult for me to come up with a way to survive. It is definitely one of those scenarios where you will die. So it was pretty enjoyable. My brain had a little bit of a little explosion where it was trying to figure out the best way to survive in such a scenario, and it wasn't able to. So it made this movie actually pretty enjoyable for that reason. So for this movie, I will be giving it about a 3 out of 10 in the must watch category because everything plays out fairly well. It's decent, it's enjoyable, a little slow to get to start off with, but other than that, it accelerates and it's pretty decent. Actors do good. There's no real issues, no problems that I could really point to. And it's a scenario that I didn't really think of. So this person definitely had a creative little bone in their brain, and they actually made a pretty decent movie. So yeah, so for this one, it definitely deserves its score.